So, in contacting people that you haven't talked to in a while, there's a feeling of uncomfortability. And what I would share with you is that the most successful people in life get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I want to get to that point in a little bit. Recently someone reached out to me on LinkedIn, and she's someone that sold Cutco in my office 10 plus years ago. And she reached out. I believe she's a psychologist, or she's getting her psychology degree or master's degree. And she said, "Would you mind giving me a recommendation on my LinkedIn?" And I said, "No problem." What I want to share with you is the way the LinkedIn message started. It was, "Hey, my name's Amy. Do you remember me? I sold Cutco in your office." And before I was done reading that, I was like, "Of course I remember you. You worked in our office for a couple of months, and there's no question that I remember that person." I think she was a little anxious as to A, was I going to remember her? B, was she going to get any value out of it? Was I going to get any value out of it? Well, the reason I responded and said, "Yeah, I do remember you. We worked together for a number of months. And B, I'm happy to give you a recommendation." The reason I did that was because I think people like helping people out. And what I will tell you is that reaching to people that you're not as comfortable with, what you're going to find is that 90% plus of those individuals are going to say yes to an appointment. Again, they're not going to buy just because it's you, but they're going to say yes to an appointment. And you're not going to realize that unless you make some of those phone calls. Now, getting back to the point earlier of getting out of your comfort zone, when I think about the most successful events in my life, whether it's asking my now wife out on a date, when I think about asking my current boss, who's the president of our company, for a promotion, when I think about any bold strategic moves that I've made professionally, or when I think about even just interactions with our kids, sometimes it means just getting out of my comfort zone and making the decision that is really in the long-term benefit of everyone. When I think about a new representative, when I think about myself, calling on people that I hadn't spoken to in a while, there was a feeling of apprehension. But once that individual picked up the phone, it was typically "Oh, hey Mike, how's it going?" Or "It's great to hear from you," or "How's your mom doing?" or "How's your dad?" or "How's your brother?" or something along those lines. In other words, it was a very positive reception that I experienced. And that was reiterated. That same positive experience happened on the appointment. And at the end of the appointment, it was a very positive experience. At the end of the day, what I realized, it was my expectation that was irrational, that something bad was going to happen. Don't get me wrong. Some people said no to an appointment that I called on for whatever reason. Maybe that I called on them and they were having a bad day. Perhaps it was, they weren't feeling like they wanted to do anyone a favor that day. Or perhaps, just wasn't really their cup of tea. They're not interested in having people come over for a Cutco appointment. What I will tell you though is that in every case where I showed Cutco, whether they bought or not, was a positive interaction. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits that I got out of stepping out of my comfort zone and calling people. It was the ability to just simply interact with a human, show them a great product, and in most cases, they ended up placing an order. I've worked with our company 25 years, and I've run into some of those same people. In fact, one of the people I sold Cutco to, their son ended up becoming a representative in my office. And I remember seeing this young person as a young person when I was doing the appointment. And I remember saying, "Hey, I remember showing Cutco to your parents, and they placed an order." And he said, "Yeah, those products are unbelievable. We use them every day." And I think that's the type of experience that I'm hoping for you all, is that 5, 10, 15 years down the road, you run into people that you sold Cutco to, and you're never going to have to hide behind a pillar or anything like that. You're always going to be able to say, "Hey, it was a great product I showed you, or they're going to say that to you. They're going to say, I'm really glad that you showed me the product. We've had it for 15, 20, 25 years. So you can feel proud of yourself for being able to show them Cutco. And at the end of the day, your customer is the biggest beneficiary. Yes, you're going to make some money, but the customer is going to own the product for 10, 20, 30 years.